What could make one of China's most composed actresses completely lose her cool and display such visible confusion that even her own staff appears bewildered about how to handle the situation? The entertainment world has been thrown into absolute chaos following leaked footage that captures Zhao Lusi's shocking reaction upon discovering that Liu Yuning was in New Zealand, a revelation that should have been straightforward, but instead triggered a response so strange and filled with apparent confusion that millions of fans are now questioning everything they thought they knew about these two stars' relationship. The video, which surfaced yesterday and has already been viewed over 50 million times across various platforms, shows Zhao Lusi in what appears to be a private moment with her staff when someone shows her Liu Yuning's New Zealand location update. And what happens next has become the most analyzed 15 seconds of footage in recent entertainment history, with body language experts, relationship analysts, and fans all reaching wildly different conclusions about what her bizarre reaction actually means. Why would Zhao Lusi, who has worked closely with Liu Yuning for years and presumably stays in regular contact with him, react with such visible shock and confusion to learning about his travel plans? And what exactly was she discussing so intensely with her clearly uncomfortable staff members immediately after seeing the news? The leaked footage shows Zhao Lusi's face cycling through multiple emotions in rapid succession, from initial surprise to what appears to be confusion, then concern, followed by what some interpret as anger or betrayal, before she turns to her staff and begins an animated conversation that witnesses describe as increasingly agitated and demanding. Her staff members, visible in the background of the footage, exchange worried glances and appear genuinely uncertain about how to respond to her questions or calm her obvious distress, creating a scene that feels less like a minor surprise about a colleague's vacation, and more like a shocking revelation that has upended Zhao Lusi's understanding of something fundamental about her relationship with Liu Yuning or his current situation. But here's what has investigators and fans truly disturbed. Multiple sources who claim to have been present during this incident report that Zhao Lusi kept repeatedly asking why New Zealand, and why now with increasing urgency, as though Liu Yuning's choice of destination and timing held some specific significance that she found deeply troubling, suggesting there may be context and history between these two stars that the public knows nothing about. The specificity of her questions, combined with her staff's apparent inability to provide satisfactory answers or their reluctance to say what they might actually know, has created a mystery that extends far beyond simple curiosity about a travel itinerary and into territory involving possible secrets, betrayals, or undisclosed agreements between Liu Yuning and Zhao Lusi that his New Zealand trip has somehow violated or complicated. The fact that this footage leaked at all, seemingly from someone within Zhao Lusi's own team, has raised additional questions about internal conflicts and whether someone deliberately wanted the public to see her genuine reaction to this news. The leaked footage begins innocuously enough, with Zhao Lusi sitting in what appears to be a dressing room or private space, surrounded by several staff members who seem to be helping her prepare for an event or appearance. The atmosphere appears relaxed and professional until one staff member approaches with a phone, apparently showing Zhao Lusi something on the screen. Based on the timestamp and subsequent context, this appears to be the moment when she was shown Liu Yuning's social media update or news coverage about his presence in New Zealand. The change in Zhao Lusi's demeanor is immediate and dramatic, her previously calm expression transforming within seconds into something far more complex and troubled. Body language experts who have analyzed the footage frame by frame describe Zhao Lusi's initial reaction as genuine shock, with her eyes widening, her mouth falling slightly open, and her posture stiffening in ways that are difficult to fake and suggest authentic surprise rather than performance for cameras. What makes this response particularly intriguing is that Zhao Lusi is an accomplished actress capable of portraying a wide range of emotions convincingly, yet experts nearly universally agree that this reaction appears to be spontaneous and uncontrolled rather than any kind of deliberate performance. The fact that she apparently did not know she was being filmed at this moment adds credibility to interpretation suggesting this represents her genuine emotional response rather than something staged or exaggerated for effect. Following the initial shock, Zhao Lusi's expression shifts into what observers describe as confusion or even disbelief, as though she is processing information that contradicts something she previously believed or expected. She appears to read whatever is on the phone screen multiple times, her eyes scanning back and forth with increasing intensity, suggesting she is trying to understand or verify what she is seeing. During this period, which lasts approximately 30 to 40 seconds, Zhao Lusi's staff members remain silent and still, watching her reaction with what appears to be concern and uncertainty about how to proceed or what to say. The situation escalates when Zhao Lusi suddenly looks up from the phone and begins speaking rapidly to her staff, her hands gesturing emphatically in ways that suggest urgency or agitation. While the audio quality of the leaked footage is poor and much of what she says is inaudible or incomprehensible, lip readers who have analyzed the video claim they can make out several phrases including, "Why didn't he tell me? This doesn't make sense," and the repeatedly mentioned, "Why New Zealand?" These fragments, if accurately interpreted, suggest that Zhao Lusi feels she should have been informed about Liu Yuning's travel plans beforehand, and that his choice of New Zealand specifically is significant or problematic in ways that observers outside their relationship cannot fully understand. The staff members' responses to Zhao Lusi's evident distress add another layer of intrigue to the situation. Rather than appearing confused about why she would be upset, several staff members seem to understand that this news is significant, exchanging knowing glances with each other that suggest they are aware of context that would explain her reaction. However, their actual verbal responses to her questions appear evasive or uncertain, with multiple staff members shaking their heads or shrugging in ways that could indicate either that they genuinely do not have the answers Zhao Lusi is demanding, or that they are uncomfortable providing those answers in this setting. One staff member attempts to approach Zhao Lusi with what appears to be a calming gesture, but she waves them off and continues her animated questioning. The duration and intensity of Zhao Lusi's reaction has been a major focus of analysis, as most people, even those who might be surprised by news of a friend or colleague traveling, would typically process that surprise within seconds and move on. The fact that Zhao Lusi's visible confusion and agitation continue for several minutes, during which she repeatedly returns to examining the information on the phone and questioning her staff, suggests this is more than a simple surprise about travel plans. Psychological experts note that such sustained emotional response typically indicates that the news has triggered deeper concerns or touched on issues that have significant personal importance, whether related to trust, expectations, prior agreements, or emotional attachment. Speculation about what specifically troubles Zhao Lusi about Liu Yuning being in New Zealand has generated countless theories across social media platforms. Some fans believe that the two stars had made plans to travel together, or that Zhao Lusi expected to be invited to join him, making his solo trip feel like a rejection or exclusion that hurt her feelings. This interpretation casts Zhao Lusi's confusion as essentially romantic disappointment disguised as general bewilderment, with why New Zealand really meaning, why would you go there without me, or why would you choose this destination we discussed together but go alone? Supporters of this theory point to various past interactions between the two stars that they interpret as evidence of romantic feelings or at minimum a very close friendship where such exclusion would feel meaningful. Alternative theories focus on professional rather than personal considerations, suggesting that perhaps Lu Yuning's New Zealand trip conflicts with work commitments or projects that involve Zhao Lusi. Industry insiders have noted that several collaborative projects between the two stars have been rumored to be in development, and if Lu Yuning's travel timing interferes with filming schedules, promotional activities, or other professional obligations, that could explain Zhao Lusi's concern and her staff's uncomfortable reactions. However, this explanation struggles to account for the emotional intensity of her response, which seems to go beyond professional frustration into something more personally significant. More dramatic theories propose that Lu Yuning's New Zealand trip represents some kind of betrayal or violation of agreements between the two stars, possibly related to their relationship status or public presentation of their connection. Proponents of these theories suggest that perhaps Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi had agreed to certain boundaries or protocols about their separate activities, particularly regarding travel or time spent with other people, and his New Zealand trip violates those agreements. The most extreme versions of these theories propose that Lu Yuning might be in New Zealand with another woman, which would explain why Zhao Lusi would be so specifically concerned about the destination and timing rather than simply accepting it as a vacation or work trip. The question of how the footage leaked has become almost as controversial as the content itself. The video quality and angles suggest it was captured on a mobile phone by someone in the room during this incident, meaning that one of Zhao Lusi's own staff members either deliberately recorded and released this private moment or was careless enough to allow the recording to be accessed and distributed by others. Within Zhao Lusi's team, this has reportedly created an atmosphere of suspicion and mistrust, with investigations underway to identify who was responsible for the leak. Some speculation suggests the leak might have been deliberate, perhaps by someone who felt the public deserved to know the truth about the relationship between Lu Yuning and Zhao Lusi, or who had personal grievances that motivated them to embarrass Zhao Lusi or create controversy. The timing of the leak, coming shortly after Lu Yuning's New Zealand presence became public knowledge, has raised questions about whether this was strategic or coincidental. If the leak was deliberate and timed to maximize impact, it suggests a level of calculated malice or agenda-driven behavior that goes beyond simple gossip or monetary motivations for selling celebrity footage. Some conspiracy theorists propose that the leak might even have been orchestrated by parties interested in damaging either Lu Yuning's or Zhao Lusi's reputations, possibly competitors in the entertainment industry or individuals with personal grudges. However, most analysts consider these elaborate theories less plausible than the simpler explanation that someone with access to the footage recognized its potential value or impact and made an opportunistic decision to share or sell it. Zhao Lusi's management team has faced intense pressure to respond to the leaked footage and explain their client's reaction, but official statements have been carefully worded and ultimately unhelpful in resolving the mystery. Initial responses characterized the footage as capturing a private moment taken out of context and suggested that Zhao Lusi's surprise was simply about not having heard from a friend recently and being concerned about his well-being. However, this explanation has satisfied virtually nobody, as Zhao Lusi's visible agitation and specific questions about why New Zealand and why now seem to indicate concerns far more specific than general worry about a friend's well-being. When pressed for more detailed explanations, representatives have declined to comment further, citing respect for Zhao Lusi's privacy and the ongoing investigation into how the footage was obtained and distributed. Lu Yuning's team has been similarly uninformative, issuing only a brief statement confirming that he is in New Zealand for personal reasons and expressing disappointment that his friend and colleague's private reaction to his travel has been publicized without consent. Notably absent from their statement is any direct address of why Zhao Lusi might have reacted so strongly to news of his trip or any clarification about whether she should have known about his plans beforehand. This omission has been interpreted by many as evidence that there is indeed significant context that both teams are trying to keep private, as a simple explanation that their relationship is purely professional and that friends don't necessarily inform each other of all their travel plans would have been easy to provide if it were accurate and sufficient. The impact on both stars' public images has been complex and multifaceted. For Zhao Lusi, the footage has generated both sympathy and criticism, with some fans feeling compassion for her obvious distress and violation of privacy, while others question why she would react so dramatically to a colleague's travel plans if their relationship is truly as casual as both stars have always claimed. The visibility of her confusion and inability to control her emotional response has humanized her to some fans who appreciate seeing genuine emotion from someone usually so composed, but has also led to mockery and memes that portray her as obsessed or overly attached to Lu Yuning. The confusion displayed by her staff adds another layer, as it suggests either that Zhao Lusi's team is poorly managed and unable to handle her emotional responses, or that there is complex context around her relationship with Lu Yuning that leaves even her closest professional associates uncertain about how to navigate situations involving him. For Lu Yuning, the situation has raised questions about his consideration for Zhao Lusi's feelings, and whether he has been transparent about his intentions or the nature of their relationship. If he genuinely has a close personal connection with Zhao Lusi, his apparent failure to inform her about significant travel plans could be interpreted as inconsiderate or deliberately hurtful. If their relationship is primarily professional, then his obligation to share personal travel information would be minimal, but that interpretation struggles to explain why Zhao Lusi would react so strongly. Some fans have turned against Lu Yuning, accusing him of leading Zhao Lusi on or treating her poorly, while others defend him by arguing that he has every right to travel without explaining himself to colleagues regardless of how they might feel about it. The cultural context of celebrity privacy and fan expectations in China adds important nuance to understanding reactions to this incident. Chinese entertainment culture involves particularly intense relationships between celebrities and their fans, with audiences often feeling entitled to detailed knowledge about stars' personal lives and relationships. The concept of maintaining strict boundaries between public and private life, while theoretically respected, is practically very difficult for Chinese celebrities to maintain given the intensity of fan interest and the prevalence of paparazzi and unauthorized recording. In this context, both Liu Yuning and Zhao Lusi face pressure to provide explanations that would be considered invasive and inappropriate to demand in other cultural contexts, yet their refusal or inability to provide those explanations generates backlash and sustained controversy.